to start off with a question. All right. What happens the moment you tell the truth at work? Not the version they say happens, the real version. Because for many people, the moment they speak up about fairness, ethics, boundaries, they get one message loud and clear: keep your mouth shut. Before we go any further, drop in the comments where you're tuning in from: city, state, or country. I'm tuning in from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, originally from New York. All right, so I'll give you a second. Where are you tuning in from? And I have another question for you. Have you ever been punished for telling the truth at work? Type yes or no in the comments. And if your stomach tightened when I asked that, stay with me because we're going to go further. We're going to go deeper. For those who are new here, my name is Jenny Gaston, licensed professional counselor of about 20 years. And this live is a continuation of our last one, where we talked about workplace trauma and why truth tellers get punished. And so if you haven't watched that yet, I will definitely link it. And thank you for the hearts. I appreciate the love. And you can join us every Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, as we talk about mental health. I specialize in anxiety, trauma, treating depression. Yes. How's my day going so far? Thanks for asking, Alec. It's going pretty well. So far, it's pretty peaceful. How about yours? How's your day going? And if you also have a mental health question, feel free to ask and I will get to it towards the end. So today we're going to talk about toxic workplaces, and they're just not dysfunctional. They're narcissistic systems. You're having a good day? Oh, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that. And so, in regards to workplace, because narcissistic systems can exist in friend groups, right, in family systems, but in regards to workplace, it's an environment where image matters more than integrity. Yes, workplace trauma is not spoken enough. Thanks for, and I appreciate that. Yes, I noticed that. I would say a few of my clients are struggling currently with their workplaces, and so I figured why not talk about it because I'm sure other people are struggling as well. Makes sense, yes. And often harmful behavior is minimized or denied. Or you find that accountability only flows downward, right? The managers are not being held accountable, but you're told to. Make that make sense. And so you'll find in these narcissistic systems, the ethical employees are labeled as difficult. And HR exists to protect the institution, not the people. Okay, so I want to make this clear. This is why many times intelligent, capable people leave jobs feeling confused, ashamed, broken, and burnt out. So, comment systemic if you're realizing this wasn't personal, it's structural. In narcissistic systems, roles form very quickly to keep everyone in line in their place. This also happens in family systems too, right? So in a workplace, you have the protected person, charming, powerful, well-connected, right? And the scapegoat, womp womp. Ethical, outspoken, competent, but simply unwilling to play along. And that's why they get targeted. Okay. But guess what? The scapegoat is usually the healthiest person in the room. And that's real talk. All right. And someone asked a question: is it wrong to just leave or quit a job? Yeah. Especially in this dynamic. You know what? This can also, like you said, flow in line with a toxic partner. If you see the signs early enough, And if you have enough savings, emergency savings, and you're confident that you can get another job real quickly because perhaps your skill set, you may need to for the sake of your mental health. But in this economy, unfortunately, many people don't feel comfortable leaving a job because it's hard to find another one. And so this is a really good question, but it's really challenging. And thank you for the hearts. I do appreciate that. Continue to give me some love, like, and share. That way the algorithm know that this video is helpful. And so like I said, definitely send me some love. And if this content is your vibe, kindly subscribe. Let's keep it rolling. This is why high performers get burnt out, truth tellers get pushed out. And I have personally been there as a young professional with so much zeal, right? You're trying to make the world a better place. And I learned very quickly there are hidden rules. And if you don't realize you're playing a game of chess, you're going to feel like you're constantly losing. And a really great book that talks about these hidden rules is The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. And so I'll place that in the description. One of the rules he talked about is not to outshine the master. And listen, I can make a whole live about that one, but we're going to get back to focus. We're going to get back to focus because at the end of the day, truth tellers threatens narcissistic systems. Okay. And you might be wondering why. Well, truth tellers exposes dysfunction. It challenges power and they require accountability. So instead of fixing the problem, the system removes the person pointing to it. All right. So if speaking led up to retaliation, comment, I spoke up. All right. And so we're going to talk about what this does to your body. What this does to your body. Toxic systems, just like toxic partners, is no different. Create hypervigilance, anxiety. So there's anxiety before meetings and emails. Before that partner arrives to the home, there's anxiety there, or going to the home. Freeze response during conflict. Chronic self-doubt. You're not only being gaslit, but you're gaslighting yourself. Okay. You might even have the Sunday night dread. Okay. This isn't weakness, guys. You might be saying, oh my goodness, I don't want to go to work. And guess what? Your whole house can feel the energy. You're either walking with a cloud over your head or you're irritable and you're taking it out on your loved ones, which is not what we want to do. But when you have a toxic workplace, many times we bring that home. And so I want to definitely give you tools towards the end to how to cope. So stay with me. All right. And so, like I said, this isn't weakness. This is a trauma response. Your nervous system is adapted to survive. So if you're watching this on live or replay, I'm going to give you some journal prompts. You don't need to answer them all. Just notice what comes up for you in your body. 1, when did I realize something felt off about this workplace? What did my body notice before my mind did? 2, how was I treated after I expressed concern, set a boundary, or told the truth? 3, what labels were placed on me and which of those were actually projections, right? Because people will take things out on you, make it seem like you're the problem. 4, what did I need at the time that I didn't receive? And so if you like more tools and prompts like this, comment tools below. I also want to name this. Healing from workplace trauma doesn't have to be isolating. Okay, NAMI, N-A-M-I is an acronym, offers free education and support groups. All right, because therapy can be expensive, real talk. But if you can't afford therapy, that can be helpful to unpack the experience without self-blame. And guess what? As a therapist, I have a therapist. All right, we don't have to have it all together. I also have a Facebook support group. So if you're there, join. It's called No Contact, Not Chronicles. And we talk about toxic workplace systems and narcissistic systems. Okay, so you don't have to explain yourself here. We get it. We get it. Movement is also powerful because stress gets stored in our bodies. So go ahead and punch a pillow, go for a walk to decompress. Okay, this is important. Our body does keep a score. And the next video, we're going to go even deeper. We're going to talk about why speaking up at work gets you punished. Whistleblower trauma, okay? Retaliation, smear campaigns, betrayal trauma, and how to heal when doing the right thing costs you your job. So definitely hit the notification bell. And I want to give you additional prompts to help you based on the cognitive behavioral therapy model, CBT model, just to help you to process the heal, not just from workplace trauma, any trauma, okay? So number one, what happened or what's my trigger, okay? What happened or what's my trigger? Number two, how do I feel? You can Google the feeling wheel to get this picture, just to help you, give you more language. This is great for children and teens, sometimes just to build their, emotional intelligence. Number three, what are my inner thoughts? We think thousands of thoughts to ourselves each day, but often it goes unchecked. It's like, when your computer is lagging because you have too many tabs open. We got to find a container for these thoughts. So sometimes a journal can help with that, right? It doesn't necessarily get rid of the problem, but it just contains it so you can focus on other things. Prompt number four, is there any evidence to support these thoughts? Number five, is there any evidence to contradict these thoughts? 4 and 5 is what I call reality testing. There's nothing wrong to process your thoughts and feelings, but we don't want to stay there. We want to challenge them, because sometimes, if we could be honest, our thoughts and feelings are based on past anxiety, fears, and trauma. And so we need to challenge them from time to time. And then finally, prompt number 6, what did I learn from this process, from using these journal prompts? And if you can journal twice a week for about 8 weeks, you will notice how you respond, and internalize stress. So instead of reacting and going to your default way of thinking, these prompts will be used as breakers to help you slow down, okay? Imagine a train, right? I'm from New York. A train got a destination, and you're trying to derail that train, right? That's what we're trying to do with these prompts. And so a lot of times it feels like work, but journaling helps to rewire your brain. The bad news, 80% of our brain is developed by age 10. So if you experienced childhood trauma, great. But the beautiful thing is that we can rewire, we can heal. Okay, that's empowering. And so I hope that these prompts will help you. And remember, the power of any tool is how often you use that tool when you don't need it. Okay, so if this video or this live gave you language or something you've been carrying silently, let me know in the comments. And remember, you weren't imagining it. You weren't too sensitive. You were responding to an unhealthy system, and healing begins when you stop blaming yourself. And so that's the first step. If you have any questions, go ahead and let it rip, guys. All right. I'm going to give you just a few minutes or two, and then we're going to wrap up this live. So again, for those who are just tuning in, we talked about toxic workplace systems. You can watch the replay, and I gave you some tools and journal prompts. But I thank you for tuning in, and make sure to join me every Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you can share what you like for me to address in future videos. But as always, much love.